Are you guys ready?
Are we telecasting this meeting?
Yes.
Is it looking at me now because I talked?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, before I call this meeting to order, I wanted to remind people no speaking in the audience. Please turn off your phone or silent your phones, please. Keeping in mind that there are people with hearing impairment and they need to be able to hear. And this is on Facebook? YouTube, okay, YouTube. So make it easier for people to hear what they're watching. If you wish to speak tonight, please sign in. There's a paper on the table over there underneath that TV. And when I invite you up, you have to come to the podium. You have to speak your name in the microphone and you get 3 minutes to speak on the topic. And with that, I call the Brown County Area Planning Commission meeting to order on June 24th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Roll call.
Carol Bowden,
Yes.
Tim Allen,
Yes.
Jane Gore.
Here.
Randy Jones,
Here.
Eric Hammis, Andy Boyles,
Present.
Kyle Deckard.
Here.
Okay, do I have a motion for the approval of minutes from May 27, 2025?
I'll move to accept the minutes of May 27th as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Andy Boyles,
Yes.
Kyle Deckard,
Yes.
Carol Bowden,
Yes.
Tim Allen,
Yes.
Jane Gore,
Yes.
Randy Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries, thank you. We don't have any old business. We have new business.
Okay, there we go. This is staff report for replat, docket number 25-P-02, hearing date June 24th, 2025. The request is a replat of part of lot 2 of Grace Maynard's addition in the town of Nashville. Petitioner is Renata Reaper. Property owners R's Place LLC and Joshua Aspenson. Location, the properties are located at 490 and 496 North Jefferson Street in Washington Township within the town of Nashville. Zoning and current land use. The zoning is residential 1, R1 for both properties and each has a residence. General findings. 1, the petitioner is requesting approval to replat part of lot number 2 in Grace Maynard's addition. The purpose of the replat is to resolve the structure encroachment by correcting the property lines. 2, according to the new legal descriptions, part of lot 2A, which is 490, will contain approximately 0.563 acres, while part of lot 2B, which is the northern property, 496, will contain approximately 0.5 acres. 3, both lots have residences already built on them and no additional building sites will be created. 4, the subdivision control ordinance provides the following definition for re-subdivision or replat. A change in the map of an approved or recorded subdivision plat if such change affects any street layout on such map or area reserved thereon for public use or any lot line, or if it affects any map or plan legally recorded prior to the adoption of these regulations. 5, the replat of the property will not reduce either lot below the minimum lot size requirement, nor will it have a negative impact on setback requirements. Summary, the property line adjustment is minor and will not adversely impact the development standards requirements for either lot. This is the 490, which is the southern property on the plat that you guys have up there. And it was hard to tell with the blazing heat today, but this is a picture. So this deck here off of the north side of the building is what is actually encroaching upon the neighbor to the north. So it's that issue there that they're trying to correct here. And so here's 490 is on the left-hand side, which is on the south, 496 This is the northern lot. And again, a little bit better picture here of the encroachment. So this white, kind of right in the middle, there's a string attached to that. Those are the new property lines. From the GIS map. And then a copy of the plat. That's the end of the staff report.
Does anybody have any questions for Kayla?
I do. Kayla, the encroachment that you're talking about is that one of the reasons for this replat?
It is, yes.
That's the primary reason for to address that issue?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, from what I understand from the petitioner.
okay, all right, thank you.
And what did we do a few months ago on this?
So the BZA, there is a special exception for a home occupation for a homestay on the property. So the special exception had to be amended to even apply for this, because it was a site plan amendment through the BZA.
Right.
We've seen her a lot recently.
I did just sign in case you have a question for me, feel free.
Kayla, is Joshua Aspenson part of this or?
He's agreed to this,
Okay,
yes.
I don't see his name on the application or anything or anywhere, so that's why.
They've been notified and they have that recorded that he's,
We can ask the petitioner. I believe the petitioner and him are working through the bank together to resolve this, and she'll be buying that property from him.
That is correct. We have a purchase agreement.
Put your name first. No, it's the microphone name.
I'm new at this.
That's
My name is Renata Raper. I'm the owner of 496 North Jefferson Street, or I'm sorry, 490 North Jefferson Street. Yes, Josh is aware of this. We were talking about maybe putting some shrubbery or privacy fence or something, just because he has a lot of stuff in his backyard. And that's kind of what got all this rolling is he said, yeah, that's fine, wherever you want to put it. And then I said, well, I want to have a survey done because where I was told the lines are, when I had the survey done, it didn't match up. So anyway, long story short, Josh and I talked about it. We've signed purchase agreements. We went through his banks to get partial releases for this narrow strip. We've done the appraisals. We've done the title work. This is our final step, I guess, if you will, to allow us. And it is that deck and our sidewalk. We are encroaching on him. It's always been assumed it was the tree line, but what we found is tricky is that lot, instead of going straight back behind the houses, it's a little deceptive. It actually goes in an angle behind the houses. So that's probably where it's been misunderstood. Yeah, we always thought those trees right down through there, they've always been treated as the line, and the line is actually about the middle of my sidewalk.
the original line.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's been like that since, well, it would have been like that since we purchased the place in the 80s. So. But yes, I have talked to Mr. Aspenson. He's totally involved. Yes, sir.
Right.
Any other questions for the petitioner?
I have none.
Thank you. Anybody here in the audience wish to speak on behalf of the petitioner? Anybody wish to speak against the petition? Okay. If there's no further discussion, do I have a motion?
I will first state that I got a couple dozen items that need to get addressed on the plat. But I think what they're trying to do is perfectly, I support what they're doing. But,
Are you talking about addressing this tonight or?
well, no, I think the survey needs to address. Okay, so it makes some revisions.
Is that something we need to be concerned about, or we still go forward, or what?
We can improve it just like we've done maybe in the past.
And you can improve it with the condition that it satisfy those requirements.
so I think the plat that he's got isn't a complete.
There's quite a bit missing. I've got quite a bit to address, put it that way.
Okay.
Most of it's very minimal. I got a closure area of 4/10, and I've got missing items in the legend and the bar scale didn't scale, so it may not be the actual size. I don't know. So just just some items that need to be addressed, and I can provide that at a later time, or do you need that all right now?
Well, I think it would need to be wrapped into to the plan commission's approval.
Okay, I can label them off real quick,
Okay.
okay?
That's okay.
In the.
Could we make this as a motion? Approval with these
Yes.
conditions?
Yeah.
Are you making that motion?
Yes, I will.
Before you do that, I do have one question that came up. I'm sorry to complicate this. Is this on sewer or septic?
Sewer.
Never mind.
All right, the first thing is I make a motion that we approve this with the following conditions. Adding the size of the rebar being set in the legend. Adding the size of, and the washer to the magnel set in the legend. Labeling the point of beginning in the legend. There's I dot, P dot, and there's IP. Those need to add to the legend. It says the bearings are based on Indiana State Plains, Indiana West. Grant counties and Indiana East. I didn't know if that was just a typo. I did see a vicinity map, but I don't know, is that required for this, Kayla?
I don't know that right off the top of my head.
This way we don't have to go back again and do anything.
Yes, I started writing, but I hope they're getting it because I kind of got lost.
Yes. Plus it's on the recording.
Yes, sure.
I don't see anything about a vicinity.
Okay. Okay. I believe there's a closure error at the southwest corner of the lot 2. That needs to be corrected or checked, verified. The northwest corner of lot 2 says rebar found. Need to know what size that rebar was.
I'm sorry, just for my education, what do you mean by what size?
Well, there could be 5/8 inch rebar, quarter, 3/4 inch,
Okay.
different sizes rebar being set or found. And at the southeast corner, there's a monument. I can't tell if it's found or set, but it doesn't have a size labeled on it. Same thing with the southeast of lot 2A. There's several monuments that need to be labeled correctly. I didn't see a transfer area description on here. The section corner that's labeled, it just says section corner. I don't know if there's a monument there where it's shown per record. The bottom, it says replat of lot 2, Grace Menard, Manors Edition. That does not agree with the name of the plat and the owner certificate. So those need to be adjusted. They would be correct. The symbols are very small, and it's very hard to tell what they are on the drawing. I don't know if it's because it's a reduced scale possibly. But the dates in the captions of the 2 descriptions say January 13th, whereas the surveyor certificate says November 11th. The notary portion says we the undersigned Renata Reaper, and it should be R Place LLC by Renetta as president or whatever. Then where the signature is, it just says Renetta, but it should be R Place LLC by Renetta as in her title. The same thing goes on down where the notary is actually notarizing her signature. It needs to say R Place LLC by Renetta and go on from there. And then I don't see the auditor's certificate, recorder's certificate, or surveyor's report.
I think I got all of that. I will have questions.
Tim, would you be willing to talk to Doug Graham about this?
Sure thing.
Give you a call?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Doug Graham Is it Charles Doug Graham?
Yes,
Okay, and he's the one who is the author of this?
yes.
But Tim, just for my information, the information that you just went over, that this apparently showed to be deficient with, are those requirements by, for lack of a better term, state surveyors?
More or less. More or less.
Okay, all right. All right,
To bring it in much more compliance. Yes.
interesting.
Okay. Yeah, we have a motion to, approve the, petition with the additional comments stated by Tim Allen.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Steve Boyles,
Yes,
Carol Tucker,
Yes.
Carol Bowden,
Yes.
Tim Allen,
Yes.
Jane Gore,
Yes.
Randy Jones.
Yes,
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Or not, I'll get with you once I.
You can stay for the rest of the meeting if you'd like, but we won't get upset if you leave.
It's been a long day.
Can't imagine that.
Thank you, though.
Be careful.
Thank you.
Okay. And we have a second petition, or, yeah, second petition.
While we're waiting.
There.
Okay, this is staff report for. Okay, staff report for Brown County Comprehensive Plan. Docket number 25-M-03. Hearing date, June 24th, 2025. Request recommendation to the Brown County Commissioners regarding adoption of the Brown County Comprehensive Plan. Petitioner, Brown County Area Plan Commission. General history and findings. 1, the Area Plan Commission began its comprehensive plan process in April 2024, receiving a monetary gift from the Brown County Community Foundation in March 2024 to support its completion. 2, requests for proposals were advertised in July 2024, and after interviews were conducted, Veritas Group was selected to complete the project. 3, on September 24th, 2024 and October 1st, 2024, the APC discussed the proposed contract, which was signed later by the Brown County Commissioners. 4, a steering committee was established and several meetings were held beginning in October of 24 and ending in March of 2025. Public input was gathered through an event on November 16th, 2024 at 2 separate locations. 5, on April 22nd, 2025 and May 13th, 2025, the Area Plan Commission held work sessions to review the drafts and provide input. 6, legal notice of public hearing was published in the Brown County Democrat in a timely manner. 7, after a public hearing, the Area Plan Commission will send a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners. 8, once the Area Plan Commission makes a recommendation, either positive, negative, or no recommendation, the plan will be presented to the Brown County Board of Commissioners for final determination. That's the end of that one.
Okay. Anybody on the board have any comments at this time?
But when I read through the ordinance, the comprehensive plan compared to our notes from our work session, there's a couple items I saw that didn't get changed. One being on page 62. It
Slow
said
down, slow down. 60 or 50?
62. We had talked about not being a picture of Brown County. The nice rolling meadows, be great to have in Brown County, but
I'm sorry.
This picture.
Oh,
we had talked about that as one item.
oh, I see, yeah.
Looks like they also removed some captions. included others,
Mhm.
and not everything's captioned.
That's right.
Okay,
Well, the other one that I'll add is on page 105, they've got strategies, and they changed it from established on strategy 1A and 1B. They changed it to maintain from established, and so I don't know if we want to have that say establish and maintain, or what we want to do.
We're on 105.
Yes. And then when you look at page 107, it says strategy 2, established bike and pedestrian trail. That would be maintain and establish or something along that lines. But it probably ought to be relabeled in the table on 105 as strategy 2 and 3 instead of 1A and 1B.
Am I misremembering? Did we also get rid of the passing lanes, but they're still in there?
I couldn't remember on that, okay?
I'm almost certain we did.
You recall what we decided on that?
I don't remember if that was one, because that was in the same conversation as, Chamber of Commerce. And we decided to leave Chamber because we may end up having one, we don't know, so.
So, Tim, let's go back to 105. Would you reiterate what you were talking about on that 105?
On 105, it says strategy, there's 1A, and 1B.
Yeah.
Probably should be 1, 2, and 3.
So it'd be what?
1, 2, and 3 to correspond with
I see what you're saying.
column pages. And then on our old one, we had established, and the new revised says maintain.
but it really should say both,
Yes, probably.
establish and maintain, like, that's fair. I would go with the.
And then that would also have to be updated on the title of page 107 and 108 to say establishing maintain.
Because it does say it's established right there, and then it says
Yes,
maintain down below.
yes. So I think there's maybe a little,
Well, consistent.
yes.
Tim, I applaud your ability to pick that out, because I didn't catch it.
You've only read it how many times though?
Right.
This is my second time through, so.
Kayla, did we have a list of what we asked them to change? Do you recall?
We do.
I'm almost certain we asked them to change the colors too, but just because it's hard for a lot of people to see the difference in that brown and green.
I think you were vetoed on the brown and green. That was,
It wasn't me that brought it up.
oh, that was the director's, that was the director's ask, wasn't it?
Huh?
Well, not necessarily.
Oh, I thought you
It
wanted.
was, no, it was just the color scheme. Not the specific colors.
I think Jane said she brought it up, didn't you?
I did bring it up and actually the finished copy looks a lot clearer.
And I think that's where we were talking about not changing them.
Yeah.
I believe it was Jack Woods that was here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I'm happy with it.
And obviously, this is an electronic document,
Right.
so it
Mhm.
probably is a lot clearer on.
It is, yeah, and I have it up on my computer here, but it's not going to that one for some reason.
Any other comments, Tim?
No, that's all I came up with.
Amber? Jamie?
No,
Kyle?
I was just asking if we had a summary of what we asked them to change, because I cannot remember. There's a lot, if I recall correctly.
It looked like the rest of
Well,
what we had talked about, that I checked it and it looked like it all.
I know there was some swapping of priorities on a couple of them.
Yeah.
Right.
They got, the ones I saw, they got.
And then the ordinances were removed, the sample ordinances
Yeah.
were removed.
Yeah.
That was a long part of the conversation.
Right.
Daniel's gonna print out the list of stuff we talked about.
I will say the maps are a lot easier to read.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty good overall. I'm just confused why some pictures are labeled and some aren't. You know, you got figure 23 with the sculpture. All the houses, all the other, like,
Well, it's, yeah, so like, I wasn't gonna say anything, but like on page 52, it says figure 28, 046, source aaroads.com. Why is that like, you know what I mean? Like, the thought of why.
are they giving credit for the photo?
Right.
Is that what they're doing?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a publisher, so I wouldn't.
Well, that's not uncommon in developing these type of plans. But a lot of times they go, you know, they default back to boilerplate stuff they have. And
Right. Well, but then like they didn't label story in or some
yeah,
very identifiable things that.
right.
I mean, if they're changing things, they might as well caption the pictures, because you have many that are captioned. No, seriously, page 35, Big Woods is not, or Hartford's not captioned. Why?
Page 20.
I brought that up. It's a minor thing, and, you know, it sounds goofy.
It is history. I mean, it's a.
Why is it not labeled when the large, single-family home on page 56 is?
Or is that Sweetwater there on page 20?
Why is State Road 46 labeled, but this nice curvy road with golden trees hanging over it on page 64 is not?
I know where that's at in the park.
Bet you do.
Paul Andy.
I would ask them to caption the pictures, Kate. If they're gonna be in a fix the rest of it. Have to do it.
Well, the confusing part is when they call it figure, it should, like the other ones that are graphs, totally call that figure 32. But the next one is figure 33 and it's just a large single family home. Didn't seem like a lot of rhyme or reason.
I suspect the reason they're not captioning half these pictures is because page 71, the person holding the keys. What are they gonna call it? It's a random clip art from Google. Guy
Well,
holding the
that's
keys.
what I was talking about with the boilerplate.
Did you say 107?
No,
71.
I didn't think so.
From a historical standpoint, posterity standpoint, you know,
Remember fixing the maintain and establish when that's what. Add captions. If you've got captions, some pictures, you should caption all pictures. No, I probably didn't. It's not.
That's right, right there.
No, I probably didn't.
Jesus, Secretary, Kelsey's going.
So are these modifications that you received from prior to tonight,
Those were what you guys decided.
just now?
no, this is from.
No, that's what I mean, prior to tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, we're good.
That's done. The only thing so far is Kelsey on here. That's it.
Yeah, I can add to that some more just now. On page 91, it talks about strategies. You got 1, 1A, 1B, 2. And then you go to the following pages, it says 1, 2, 3. Well, there's no 3.
Yeah, no, there's ones and twos.
You said 91 and what?
It's got 1, 1A, 1B, and then number 2. Then you go to strategy 1, it doesn't have, should there be one for evaluate short-term rentals?
Well, I think it's continued natural preservation standards is what's not in there. Revamp models, so. Evaluate short-term rentals and continued natural preservation of standards are not.
Is it not at the very bottom of that chart on 92? They just didn't differentiate between A and B.
Oh, yeah, they put
That's
it as a
preservation.
Right.
They just lumped it all in there.
Oh, okay.
Do they split any A's? I don't think they split any A's and B's up.
Yeah. It was just,
Except on page 105, they split them up.
They're splitting those up like the caption pictures. I see.
Well, yeah, we've been over that.
section.
I think it looks good, except for the inconsistent ways of doing captioning, establish/maintain, the A's, the B's. It's just consistency issues.
And I think I have it all written down. I want to ask too, if the 1A and the 1B are correlated somewhere else.
On
Do you guys-
one, they're in the,
They're in the next page, all under one.
All under number 1, right? But I wanted to know. I recall something, they were correlated, so they had to number them that way. I'll get more clarification.
Okay.
For page 107 and 108, we talked about establish/maintain bike and pedestrian trail, establish/bike and pathway lanes, so the same heading. Should have the same heading.
So they should both be establish and maintain
Yeah,
bike and pedestrian, establish and maintain bike and.
Yeah, and those should carry over into the 105 chart. Should read the same.
it looks like these pages have been removed, so, okay. I don't do my list. Did you have it first? The only other comment like here that I noticed, also for the areas that are industrial is mentioned, can we look at it to see if adding business would be appropriate there?
One thing I just noticed, the page numbers 109, and then it jumps, the next page number is 132, and it doesn't.
They deleted
14 through 120 were deleted.
I know, but it
We need
jumps,
to fix our page numbers.
Yeah.
Right.
it jumps. This is some page numbers.
but it's just the end. Like, they don't have to fix them, it's just the last part.
What?
It should be consistent. It should go.
Yeah, it's fine to page 109.
After that.
Right, and
After
it
that,
That means renumbered.
yeah.
needs to be renumbered. Thank you.
After that is the maps and then all the answers to the surveys
Right,
that were done.
Say, they didn't number the maps.
but it should,
Yeah, but there's
the numbers aren't consistent.
Yeah,
not enough pages for the number gap, is what she said.
Pages out, I understand that.
Yeah, it would technically end, the last unlabeled map would be page 120, and then it would start at 132. So they need to take those 12 pages, back them down,
It needs to be renumbered.
because we would hate for someone to reference page 130 of the comprehensive guide,
Right.
and then somebody not be able to find it, and then all of a sudden it's a conspiracy.
it's a what?
It's a conspiracy. That's
Oh,
how these things
I
start.
thought you said.
Hey, if they need help referencing photos, I'm sure.
I'm hearing it here and I heard that.
Page 48 is a Google link. That's not, nothing's labeled.
Do you need a break yet, Kayla?
Yes, no.
Should be listening to the video later.
Starts again.
And then we do have, one of the people from Veritas, or it's Civitas now. Was Veritas.
Is still.
Is still, they rebranded.
Confusing.
And so she's here too, if we have any questions for her.
Yes, you consider that. All and what.
Good shit out. It's a pen to see.
You've already made all the changes, right?
Yeah, I did want to say, sorry, Sarah Carterman, Civitas Strategies, the Department of Various Group. The one question, Carol, that you had about the business industrial. So I changed some of them. The ones that I didn't change where it says industrial, I think I got the majority, but I did not change it in the zoning sections because that is your zoning and I didn't want to mess with that.
That's, I thought we talked about. that.
Yeah.
I think I remember.
Yeah, so, most of the other things, the picture, sorry.
Well, it's just,
That was my fault because it wasn't on the
I was
list
just
that I
reading
made.
the comment on the last page that we just got given to us, so
Yeah.
that's why.
No, that's, I can absolutely do that.
Because I know people see or hear industrial and think something more than, like color versus
Yeah,
the definition of industrial, so.
yeah. Makes total sense.
Any other questions with this young lady?
Can you kind of summarize it back real quick? Ayla? Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if it'll be real quick.
You don't have to read them all, just like hit the.
So on page 62, we need the picture changed. 105, strategy 1 and 2, instead of 1A, 1B. Maintain and establish. On 107 and 108, the titles need changed.
We're doing establish and maintain and establish. So it's asking.
What are we doing?
I think Miss Hamas is point was we need to fix what we've got. I remember that part of the conversation. So she,
Maintain existing and establish.
Maintain and establish probably would be the way that should go.
Okay, and I think that was my fault. When I was reading the comments, I thought you guys wanted to change. Like
Yeah,
where it
That's
said
what,
that,
that's
but
what
I
we
didn't.
kind of thought, but you changed them. I mean, there was a lot to do, so I.
Yeah, no, that's appreciate the criticism.
Label pictures. Decide if we want to do figures for maps and then,
Well, I just looked at
Pictures.
figure is common on pictures. I
Okay.
think it'd be figure.
okay,
So I did
That's
double
reasonable.
check. I asked them about the stock pictures and there is a way for us to label the stock pictures that are in there. I think, sorry, I made a note on, I think page 67, like specifically, there's a picture of a lady in there. And so there's a way that we can label those to make it consistent.
caption all photos with stars next to it on both sides.
And if you do have questions over these pictures and you've lost it, I'm sure we can.
Okay, perfect. I
Happy to
appreciate
help.
that.
Again, 91, 1A, 1B2. So we'll just look to make sure and see if that correlates with something else from either
For the next page.
the public hearing or I want to say that those numbers correlated to something.
Okay, I'll check with Cody. I didn't do the numbering, so I will check with him and see if there's a specific reason why it was 1A, 1B, like if it was on one topic and we just want to split it. But it's my understanding that you guys want to make all of them just 1, 2, 3. Is that correct?
No, they wouldn't actually be 1, 2, 3, they'd be actually 1, 1, 1, because it matches the next page.
I think they broke it down in some areas, but in other areas, like on 105, they broke it down as 1A, 1B,
Mhm.
but then they had strategy 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so we
And
want
then
to
another
make
spot,
sure.
they had 1A, 1B, and those were all under strategy 1.
Okay.
And then it went 2 and 3, and there was a 2 and 3 or something like that.
Okay, yeah, I will double check with Cody and make sure if there was specific reasoning, we will let you guys know.
Okay.
Otherwise, we can make sure those numbers match to make sense to everyone.
Page numbers, good through 109, renumber 110 through the end,
Yeah,
including the mapped pages.
I made a note of that. So what we do when we print them is those pages are still on our copy. We hide them so when they print, they don't print out. But we've made a copy of it, so in the one that actually prints, we can delete those pages to make sure that the page numbers are
And then update the numbers.
continuous, yes.
And then I had note 48 is Ogle Lake.
So a whole lot of other ones be captioned.
What was your last one?
Page 48, the picture is Ogle Lake.
All right, Andy, is that overlay? It sure looks like that shelter house Jack Harden posts on Facebook all the time.
Oh, yeah.
that's
Just out of the picture right there on the left.
yeah.
Anyhow, minor. It's like to have the captions.
We were able to get the develop with the E and the word cloud fix, so I'm really excited about that.
That was the first thing I looked for.
There's two slides. I'm not sure. Is that not the spillover? No, I'm just.
That is the spillway.
Oh, it's not cats.
That's over.
Yeah, any straw or Ogle Lake, whatever it is.
From Lake Michigan.
Pretty sure it's over there. He's looking at it now.
The one picture that is not Brown County. Okay.
Yes. Absolutely, that will be changed.
Okay.
Any other comments from this end of the table? Okay. Any comments from the audience?
Hi, Denise Patrick. I live here in town. I'm not sure I understood what the purpose of tonight's meeting was. Was it just so you could go over those final things that need to be changed? It's not necessarily for people to say, oh, I approve this or done for this?
We can approve this with the changes that we just dictated.
Okay, okay,
Because
But it was a public hearing.
okay.
Is that what you were asking?
Well, I wasn't sure if they were gonna vote on it tonight, or if they were gonna wait till the changes got made, or what the meeting. You
We'll,
got me confused when you started going through all those.
we'll vote to send it to the commissioners. The commissioners will actually be the ones to adopt it or.
But in the vote that second the commissioners, it's this with the changes.
Okay, okay. Now, I just had a couple comments. One of the comments I had, I don't know if I have the same version you have, was on page 50. It talks quite a bit about Nashville and Brown County and the collaboration between the two, and how there are some issues with, collaborating between the two. And then on page 78, it talks about the town and the county work collaboratively together with the steering committee. So I just wondered if maybe one of you could maybe address what some of the specific challenges are, because I fell asleep on page 103 and I don't know if I got all the way through it. So I didn't really understand completely what those challenges were on the collaboration between the town and the county. That's all I really.
In general,
In general. I know Andy likes to talk, so I thought maybe.
Oh, thank you for that.
It's been confirmed.
Oh, I think it's already been.
Can I put a timer on him?
Yeah.
I don't have it.
so I can.
I'm not gonna talk.
You gave me a heart attack, Andy.
So staffing wise, there's not an issue with collaboration staffing wise. It is that we are an area plan commission. So one department is responsible for all of the town's development, all of the county's development. So it's kind of trying to get those two worked out in your brain. And it's not an issue with staffing here and staffing there. That's never been a problem.
No.
It's an issue kind of melding the two plans together into like a cohesive.
Yeah, because you don't have this team people over here on this hill, and then this team of people over here on this hill. There's overlapping. Also, keeping in mind that the town comprehension plan goes to the town council, this one goes to the county commissioner. Because just like for the last week, we're talking about the sidewalks. Well, you have sidewalks in town. We don't necessarily have a whole lot of sidewalks out in the county. So, I mean, so there's the differences, but.
I think the overarching theme of the statement is saying that we recognize they're two different governing bodies and they need to work together. That's the county council and the commissioners more than, I would say, the staff,
That's one of the things that I think makes it a little more challenging for this commission than you'll find some other places, because we're over county as well as the town itself. And the majority of your planning commissions, at least the ones that I'm familiar with, that wasn't necessarily the case. So we have two different documents, two different comprehensive plans, a number of different boards. And it's sometimes kind of difficult to subsume those things together.
Separate zoning ordinances.
Yes, separate zoning ordinances. It's a challenge. So I don't know if that clarified for you what anyone said, but I also fell asleep at about 1:03 too. I woke up real quick.
Any other questions from the audience? Okay. Any other comments from the board?
I do. This is for our legal counsel.
Wake up, David.
Where we're at right now, have we done everything statutorily that we are required to do before we submit this to the commissioners for their action?
Yes,
In your opinion? Okay, all right. Thank you.
Anything else?
I make a motion to approve.
Speak
Step
it.
forward. I'm right in front of them.
Well, but I don't know, they can hear you.
I would like to make a motion to approve this comprehensive plan with the minor revisions.
A positive recommendation to the
Positive
county commissioners.
recommendation. I would like to make a positive recommendation to the Brown County Commissioners.
I will second that.
Any further discussion? Danielle?
Al Deckard,
Yes.
Carol Bowden,
Yes.
Tim Allen,
Yes.
James Moore. Yes. Randy Jones,
Yes.
Andy Boyles.
Yes,
Motion carries. Thank you.
I do feel like we have a product that we can be proud of based on the resources that we had to put it together. I feel like it's as well-written and put together document as we could afford.
And so just for public understanding, the next part of the job would be is taking the current ordinances, looking at them, updating them as appropriate to the plan. Deleting some of them that no longer value and, creating some to fill the space of everything, which takes a little bit of time to do that. But that'd be the next part of the overall project.
And then once this is done at the commissioners and even at the next meeting, I'm gonna try to get a poll together for you guys. I know we're gonna need to update the ordinance, but how do we wanna do that? I'll just get some guidance from you all to see kind of what we're doing next. Probably looking at work sessions again after regular docket items to see where we go from here.
When will this be going to the commissioners?
As soon as I can get the changes, as soon as I can get with Sarah, get the changes made, and then I have to certify within, I believe, 4 days.
So, I mean, will it go to commissioners, like, second meeting in July, you think?
Probably.
So you're talking about the development plan or development ordinance?
Yes, the ordinances,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
We
Unless
just,
we need to take a breather after all this is done and then,
Yeah.
but I'll try to at least get a poll ready for next. And if you guys have any ideas of, things we really need to talk about immediately, shoot them my way.
What do we have on the next meeting?
We have got not much. One wall. You remember that?
Yeah, still. Oh,
I have cold hands, he has hot.
my hand is full.
He's clicking the pen.
We have a minor subdivision and then a replat.
For the next meeting?
Mhm.
I think it'd be a good opportunity to discuss how we're gonna take the next stages at that point. After we get this petition.
Yeah.
Because the next meeting would be on July 22nd.
Because we're really not sure at this point how that process is gonna look, or how we want it to look and how we're gonna structure it, so.
So we need time to sit there and plan that part before we do anything.
I also want to, thank Andy Boyles and Kara for serving on the planning steering committee. They put a lot of extra time into this, so, thanks for all your extra work, Ty.
Anything else?
Oh, wait,
No,
The Parsons lawsuit that has been on the books for quite a while. We have a signed agreed entry from Parsons agreeing to a permanent injunction against using the Timberlake House as a tourist home, motel or hotel, unless and until all appropriate zoning approvals have been granted, and a $10,000 fine. But I need the plan commission to authorize one of your members or designate an authorized person to sign the agreed entry.
thank you, Mr. President, do it.
I say,
no,
With love.
coverage.
I thought that was.
Land ridge.
I meant my own.
Yeah.
Two boys didn't sound right.
Like, it's a ridge,
We're
for
close.
sure, it's a ridge.
So, I have a side question, that $10,000 collection, does that go into the area plan commission fund?
no,
It'll go into the general fund.
yeah.
Okay. Minus attorney fees, I'm sure.
yeah.
Well,
That's already been appropriated,
Yeah,
so
We're good there.
that's 10,000.
Dave, this is an injunction from the court to cease and desist.
The court will, this is an agreed entry, so the court will take this agreed entry, approve it, and then sign a separate document saying $10,000 fine injunction.
Okay. And the other party has not or have agreed to
They have
this.
signed it,
They have signed it.
yes.
Okay.
So what is it that you're asking me to sign?
Doesn't matter, just press R3.
Just sign it, just sign it.
It's an agreed entry saying that the planning commission has agreed to settle the suit, resolve it by the entry of an injunction and a civil penalty.
Just what, understand, because your lips were below the screen there, so I had a hard time. I know you're remember,
Yeah.
okay?
What, frequent, it's frequent,
Settlement, fine, is that free?
it's frequently resolved, tourist home cases are almost always resolved by agreed entries.
Okey-dokey.
So they need to vote on having the president.
Yes.
Well, I ain't making that motion.
Andy made the motion, right?
I heard it.
And
And
I'll
you need
second.
to authorize Carol Bowden to sign on behalf of the agreed entry for the Parsons case.
Kyle seconded.
And Kyle seconded.
Nice. Double tap.
Ready for the vote?
Yes, go ahead and do a roll call, darling.
Carol Bowden,
I guess, yes.
Tim Allen,
Yes.
Jane Gore,
Yes.
Randy Jones.
Yes.
Amy Boyles.
Yes.
Kyle Deck.
Yes.
Carol, what they didn't tell you is you have to drive to Lafayette to sign it.
I would be calling on my chauffeur. Anything else? Thank you so much, David. And with that, now do the motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Nice. Hour.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I'm sending this to you.
Okay.